when we talk about what is GAT and also explain the activities details in the event. Next. It's students from different universities and it's a great chance for you to make a meaningful friendship with different universities. The first objective of GAT is to enhance the learning experience in design inspiration and promote bamboo architecture among architecture students.
For your information, this is already the third year that kita host the Malaysian level competition. So we plan to hold it every year in view of our own adoption of bamboo as one of the material that we want to promote.
This is actually the third year that we host these competitions. And I see that this competition is getting more challenging and more complicated. Especially for last year, this is actually the half pavilion.
It is a sustainable material, and in the building industry, we are really trying to promote the usage of bamboo. And but many of you students might ask why is it not so popular? It is because that bamboo is a natural material, so the strength with regard to bamboo needs to be shown to be consistent.
So without further ado, let's present to you our list of finalists for the bamboo competition.
Do we recognize that the world's rapid development, particularly in developing urban centers, has already had an impact on the lives of fauna that dwell in similar environments long before we establish a more developed world? Well, one of the scenarios we have identified involves the life cycle of one of the most unique birds, the black-faced spoonbills, where Nansha Birdpark has been one of the migration stopover for them. Black-faced spoonbills has won the hearts of birders and Asian public, making it a signature umbrella species for establishing coastal preserves that protect many other less charismatic bird species due to its special characteristics. Thus, within the context of Nansha Birdpark, our design of the bamboo half pavilion is inspired by the distinct displays and personalities of black-faced spoonbills. Begin with the display element, several fully grown bamboo stakes became the frames of this Wei Bao pavilion. They symbolize the black-faced spoonbill's fascinating wing movement, which all 6 of them were held all together with a main branch of this pavilion, stimulated by the body form of black-faced spoonbill itself. While a long vertically tied bamboos together in the most front of the pavilion was mimicked by the combination of black-faced spoonbill's long S-curved neck and long hard spoon-shaped bill. Moving on to the uniqueness of black-faced spoonbill's personality, Wei Bao Pavilion has 2 options of visual views. The first visual view is at the center of the pavilion, which is a covered area. This space was designed as a cover shade for rain covers, giving sense of protection that simultaneously reinforce the openness of the space for visitors to transcribe the idea of black-faced spoonbill's charismatic value compared to other birds, while allowing the visitors within the pavilion to enjoy both internal and external views of Wei Bao Pavilion. Besides, the second visual view was located above the pavilion, imitating the experience of black-faced spoonbill's eye view high on the sky during the migration routes. At last, zigzagging patterns of bamboos between the wing frames were encouraged by the feeding tracks of black-faced spoonbills, as this pattern indicates the route of their mandibles winding through the water while searching for small fishes. Therefore, along with all of these inspiration, we present to you Wei Bao, the Guardian Pavilion.
a starry night, a phenomenon occurred where the shooting stars from the universe gave birth to a cosmic egg, a gleaming beacon of creation in the breach of Nansha Birdpark, enclosed in a shell, as a result of the dynamic balance of its different forces. Yin and Yang, where the universe is governed by a cosmic duality, sets of two opposing and complementing principles, or cosmic energies that can be observed in nature. It is a principle that explains or represents the duality of things. In Chinese mythology, Yin-Yang was born from the idea that two completely opposite cosmic forces in the universe, chaos and order, existed harmoniously together. The achievement of balance in the cosmic egg during the creation of Yin-Yang allowed for the birth of Hanku, the first human. The primary structure is first transformed from the image of Yin-Yang with the idea of two separate but spiritually connected entities forming the half corridor. The skeletal force of chaos is first formed on the in and out. The skeletal force of the orderliness comes after and forms the visual harmonization. The harmonization of the skeleton structures brings forth the final skeletal structure that balances all things, and together, the water reflection brings the full image to life where one cannot exist without the other. Finally, the creation of a new symbol and fabrication in the form of the half corridor is achieved, ultimately leading to the birth of a new life in the cosmic egg, linking back to the story through the opening on top of the structure. Heng aspires to amplify the dichotomy of duality between human and nature, whilst establishing a harmonious dialogue between both. Heng accentuates our detachment with nature, hence aims to lead us grounded. Coinciding with nature, the water reflection completes the pavilion, signifying the balance between spirit and matter. The accentuation of light that shines from the water reflection shows the proof of the existence of life forms underwater. It imitates and unveils the life below and above, what we can and can't see, what we can and can't touch, striking a balance between both, forming a complete relation between nature and Nansha Birdpark, humans and waterfalls. The half corridor sits into the side like a portrait, capturing the essence and character of Nansha Birdpark. In this case of the birds and humans, their unique solitary nature requires two similar yet separate habitats. Heng provides a platform where both species can reside and coexist within a close vicinity. Humans and nature are opposites but are consistently united. Users activate the half corridor by moving through it to experience the amalgamation of two different entities, built form and nature. Finally, we present to you Heng Eternal Balance, a capture of the paradox and harmonious dialogue between human and nature in Nansha Birdpark.
Imagine a wetland. A migratory birds flutter across the swampy lakes, seeking for a site to stop over. Then it found a tree to sit on, a tree which is firm with intricate roots. A tree appears to be growing out from the lake. It is called the mangrove. Wetland, as the ecological environment for Nansha Birdpark, is a stopover site which provides migratory birds with appropriate covers before moving on to the next journey. In relation to the half pavilion philosophy of harmony between heaven and human, the wetland ecosystem is seen as the existing natural environment where birds and humans inhabit. Simultaneously, the ability of mangrove to support biodiversity habitat, adapt and complement to the environment, makes it suitable to be seen as a natural half pavilion to the wetland ecosystem, which facilitate harmonious symbiotic relationship among the humans, bird, and nature. Therefore, the design concept is inspired by the mangrove tree in terms of its analogy and function. Firstly, the hyperbolic structure is used as the overall structural concept, as it is inspired by the function and aesthetic of mangrove's branching roots to hold the soil and stabilize shorelines against erosion. Just like the mangrove roots, primary and secondary bamboo structures are all interconnected, holding themselves together, making the whole structures stand firmly. Secondly, inspired by the breathing mechanism of mangrove roots, where pores are present on the exposed area roots to adapt to the oxygen-poor environment. Thus, the hyperbolic structures form porous openings that are able to ventilate the inner space. Bamboo cross-section is also used as sectional ending resolution to emulate the breathing pores. Thirdly, inspired by the function of mangrove root as a marine life habitat, the secondary structures and bamboo wicker layers cover up half the pavilion, providing sufficient shelters for humans, but also allowing integration of natural surroundings, acting as a harmonious shelters for humans. Lastly, inspired by the function of mangrove canopy as a bird habitat, the upper roof canopy structure is designed as a bird perch, imitating the tree branches that invite birds, allowing bird observation without disturbing them, achieving harmonious relationship between human and bird. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the blooming roots.
The profundity of yin and yang indicates the contrast and balance in the universe. The half pavilion was inspired by the yin and yang, where the structure was dissected in half to expose the structural aesthetic. Nansha Birdpark, with a variety of water bodies, is a scenic wonderland at the sides. The water element represents the snake, while the earth represents the Naga creature. The concept defines the beauty of metamorphosis, interpreting the transformation of snake into a powerful creature, Naga. It has the ultimate vitality with the potential of growing until it becomes powerful enough and ascends towards the sun. In ancient Malaysia, a snake living in the water would grow in size, peeling off its skin, growing horns and transforming into a dragon, Naga. The snake was showcased at the railing and sitting, with flow of connectivity linking the elements to the structure above. The main structure defines the powerful creature, Naga, where it provides load support and shading. The structure was derived from the metamorphosis process. Foundation is layered with a bamboo weaving floor, and concrete footings are applied for the main supporting structure. The core support was constructed, followed by the primary, secondary, and tertiary structure for each canopy layer. Layer structure is applied to achieve functional and sustainability requirements, as each air gap keeps the bamboo structure dry all year round. It prevents bamboo structure rot and fungus issues due to dampness. The fourth canopy layer is applied to a Malay traditional weaving pattern, promoting user experience while guaranteeing air able to ventilate from the canopy to the space beneath. The woven bamboo weaving is layered at the third canopy layer. Canvas has been used as an envelope for the topmost layer to construct a rain-protected interior. Polystyrene envelopes are layered at the top of canvas, and the edges of the canopy protect the bamboo structure from rainy weather. Organic structure is then added to enhance tensile strength on the tilted structure, and seating area is layered above it. Weaving fins are constructed on the railing to form an enclosed space, where the gaps of the weave ensures the ventilation of the space. The yin and yang diagram can be observed clearly from the plan view, showing both tangible and intangible ways to interpret the half pavilion. Users can access the platform in a circular motion, with spaces open up at the center to interact with the aquatic life. The sittings alongside are designed to provide chilling spots while enjoying the scenery. Interactive components allow bird feeding activities while viewing the various bird species there, where the interaction among users and the site occurs. The half pavilion explores structural integrated design, injecting aesthetic and elegance into the site. The ethereal bloom, a transmutation of snake to Naga in Nansha Birdpark.
In Chinese legend, a fish leaping the dragon gate depicts a sense of blessing in successfully overcoming hardships. In line with the philosophy of a half corridor, harmony between heaven and human, we are proposing a bamboo corridor that is proposed not only as a shelter but also as a connection to connect people with the scenic beauty of nature, but allowing people to interact with the bamboo structure while passing through it. In order to achieve this, an innovative mechanism has been explored using the concept of wheel and axle to showcase the contrast between static and movement. When people step on it, human weight forces the axles rotate, steps follow the movement of axles go up and down. The movement of the step drives the level of bamboo truss rotate about the fulcrum, so walking through it is like treading on the water under the ever-changing sky. Taking the moral of the fish leaping the dragon gate, the form of structure adapts to the changes from low to high spatial experience, conveys the visitors an immersing experience of harmonious true glory. The construction of this half corridor can be done in 6 steps. The steel footing pad is constructed elevated to keep stability for the structure. The main structure consists of 2 groups. First is a structure at the section side and 3 curved structures that provide weather protection. Second is the center main structure, a big curved splice with external union to achieve higher flexibility. The 3-layer of roof with different function is added. The first layered roof providing shelter and protection for the bamboo underneath. Second layered roof with hexagonal bamboo woven, and the third layered roof is the moving roof. Next, the moving step is implemented on the base, connected to the moving roof. The fishtail chair is added, and the base is constructed using woven bamboo strips with double floor lashing technique. Thus will be the railing. Since its construction was not a typical bamboo pavilion, a lot of experiments have been carried out by model making and software simulation to make the mechanism work and enhance its capability of bearing rain load and wind load. Together with these designs, the visitors can have a mesmerizing experience by seeing the natural flow of the dynamic roof and the harmonizing interaction with nature mentally and physically at the same time, blessed by the bamboo structure.
Confluence, balance, harmony, the vice versa. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you see in this image? Well, most people would call it half glass of water. But for us, instead of looking at it as half, we see this as a balance of 2 extremes. A scenario of not full and not empty either. Similarly, our concept for the half pavilion is to establish the equilibrium space to embrace the paradox of Nansha Birdpark, which gave meanings to our design, the vice versa. In the 2, the pavilion is manifested through these 3 equilibrium aspects. Firstly, the site, intersections of solid platforms and fluid lake. Secondly, the skin, a balance between the skin's eternal silhouette and its ephemeral responses to the nature phenomena. Thirdly, the structure, a mixture of original beauty of bamboo and experimental bamboo feature. Together, these 3 aspects forms a series of playful and flexible spaces from fully open to fully enclosed, connecting the users to heavens, earth, inhabitants, and their inner self. Now, let's unfold Nansha Birdpark through the vice versa. vice versa, is the confluence point that seeks to integrate, harmonize, and complete as the other half of the beautiful Nansha Birdpark.